down in the side control. He's not even conceding side control, because in wrestling there is no such thing as side control. Does everybody understand that? There's no side control in wrestling. There's a pin. So that guy is not going to even give you a millimeter of hold me down against a wrestler. A wrestler is going to force himself either away from you or into you. Generally, it's going to be away from you because of the way that you learn to ride in wrestling. So what do I mean? As soon as I start to look for a pin in wrestling, he's going to turn away from me, go away from me. He's just going to try to come up and get away. Okay, so go back. So how does it translate for jiu-jitsu? Is when I do this and he cuts his, he gets his hand in here and he protects himself and he rolls away. Because, go all the way up. As he goes all the way up, I'm going to try to dig my hooks in, and this guy's going to bump me. Okay, it's called shaking in wrestling, or hip bumping in wrestling. What basically happens is I'm inexperienced, and I throw my foot over, and this guy just lifts his hips. No, just put your head on the ground and lift your hips. And I fall forward. Okay, it's a common thing in wrestling. Because you don't see too many people throwing hooks in. It's called, actually, when you throw two legs in wrestling, it's called an Olympic ride. It's not called, or riding legs. It's not called getting your hooks in. So you guys understand, this guy is a really good wrestler. Somehow I get on top, maybe I sweep him, maybe I get lucky with a takedown, or I take him down. But this guy does not concede this position. He goes away from me, and he's looking to immediately come up and go in a single. Go ahead, Pat, and look for a single and drive me right down. It happens all the time, especially in no-gi. So how does it translate with the jiu-jitsu part of it? Is this guy's an inverter, this guy's a guard puller. As soon as I take this guy down or I get into side control, he rolls up, he rolls away from me or rolls into me, and he goes to the Monroe guard, right? And he starts to invert and do all this kind of stuff. So you guys should understand, without the gi on, this guy's pretty safe in the turtle position. So what we're going to do is we're going to work two positions in the turtle. So, here, Pat. So number one, when I get this guy in the turtle position, I don't want to sit here and try to throw my hooks in and do this. Okay, there's way too many avenues for my opponent to get away without the gi on. With the gi on, you can get away with some stuff. There's still some certain things here that you can do, but against an athlete that's slick, that doesn't have a shirt on or something, you better be really, really able to hold on tight. So the best way is a wrestling front headlock. I'm going to bring myself gable grip in this position here. So once I'm here, we're going to start setting up our anaconda chokes. But what's going to happen is when this guy comes up and he grabs my leg in a single leg, yeah, in this position, I can't look to do jiu-jitsu against this guy here. The first thing I have to do is I have to cross face him. I want to bring this hand across his face. Now I've evened up the score. Okay, I don't want to do this and start looking for the seatbelt position, especially against somebody big and strong. Okay, they get a hold of one knee and you're in big trouble here. Okay, even if you're loosen up, even if he's got this one, loosen up, and I'm over the top of him like this. If this guy's a good wrestler and he's big, he's going to get this position. So this is a really strong fight. So the first thing we're going to do is from the front headlock position, okay, we're going to sit here and we're going to block with our back leg, and then we're going to change our position to having him in a, I call it the sleeve position, where I'm underneath of his forearms. So this cuts his single leg out. That's really what we're looking to do. So go ahead, one more time, Pat. He's got my leg on the outside and we're in this position here. No jiu-jitsu here. All I'm going to do is I'm going to cross my hand in front of his face and I'm going to grab his tricep. I'm going to bring my other hand in and I'm just going to drop my weight on him. Drive into your single. I should be able to plant this leg. He's not going to have the leverage on this. So from this position, we're going to look for a nice strong sprawl. As I sprawl out here, when you're in this sprawl position, now I don't even have to open my hands up. I just hold onto his tricep and now I can take this hand out, which is now pull yourself up, Pat. I can see how I'm holding onto his tricep. Sit up. I still have his arm across his chest. So if I were doing Valley Tudo, I could do this, but that's not what we're going to do. Now we're going to slide this hand in and we're going to start looking for an anaconda choke immediately. But the best part of this position, especially for advanced jiu-jitsu, is this guy is a tough wrestler, and I don't really have that much wrestling, but I have a strong core and a strong base from doing jiu-jitsu. So once I feel this, I don't want to start looking to jump on his back and get into the chokes and everything. The first thing I want to do is cut his wrestling away from him. Because if you're not a wrestler, and this guy is a wrestler, he won't stop on a single leg. He'll go after that single leg forever. So you don't want to push his head down, you don't do any of that kind of stuff. You just want to drive your hand across his face and get your wrists together, or get your hands together. See how it breaks him down? Here, posture up, Pat. I can really lay on him here, okay? Now I just switch hands, and I can take this hand out. Now I can start looking for my guillotines and my anaconda chokes. Okay, it's a very simplistic way for me to hold on to my opponent. Now let's say he's an inverter, and he's a guy that sits back into the guard. Sit back away from me, and do them in reguard. I can just sit here and follow him by holding on to his triceps. So his reguard is nil. Let's give it a try, guys. Work the anaconda choke.